friends, welcome to another session of assembly language programming. So today's topic is we'll discuss two programs. One is addition of two 16-bit numbers and another one is subtraction of two 16-bit numbers. Okay, so in addition of two 16-bit numbers, we discuss two types of additions. Okay, in first one is if there is a no carry. Okay, that means when we add two numbers, there may be a chance of getting a carry. Okay, so in the first programming, okay, so we'll discuss programming where there is a no carry. In the second version of the same program, we'll discuss how to write a program for if there is a carry result when you add two numbers. Okay, so we'll write these two programs for addition. Then we discuss how to write a program for subtraction of two numbers. Okay, friends. So the logic is, okay, see here we want to perform addition on two 16-bit numbers. Okay, for storing 16-bit numbers, we need any of the general purpose registers. Okay, you can use any of the registers like AX, BX, CX and DX. Okay, so the logic is you can take one number into one register and take another number into another register. This is one way, and another alternative way is you take one number into one register and in second one you can directly add to the register. So that gives you the sum of the two numbers. Okay, so you can use any of these two logics. Okay, so first we try to write a program for addition of two numbers with no carry. So in data segment we will declare two memory operands. The first one is A. So I want to declare a memory operand for storing 16-bit value. So I have to take DW. So then my value is 1234H. Okay, so we'll declare another memory operand, that is B. This is also of DW, that means define word, since that is my 16-bit number. So same number I am taking. Okay, so for getting the easy calculation purpose. Okay, the third memory operand is result. Okay, result. So when you add two 16-bit numbers, obviously you will get a result also 16-bit number. So this is also, we'll declare it as a DW type, and initially we don't know the result value, so we put a question mark for that. So this is a end of my data segment. So how you end this segment? You can end the segment with end s. Okay, end s. So this is a declaration of the data segment. Now we start the code segment. So we have to write this assume command in every program. So the assume command is like a cs colon code comma ds colon data. Okay, now we have to write the start label. Now we need to perform the initialization of data segment. So that is move ax comma data, move ds comma ax. Okay friends, so these two lines are very important because those two lines are used to initialize your data segment. Then only you can access the memory operands of the data segment. Okay, so the logic here is, so you have to move the first operand into ax. So I have to write move ax comma a. Okay friends, then take another number into bx. So move bx comma b. Now I can perform addition operation. Add ax comma bx. Okay, so the addition is performed. You will get the result in ax only. So move the result into result. So that means move the contents of ax into result. So for that I have to write move result comma ax. Okay friends, so that's it. This is a logic of the program. We can close the program execution by move ah comma 4ch interrupt to 1h. Okay, so these two lines are used to execute your program execution with an exit code. Okay, then I will stop the code segment, code end s, then end start. Okay friends, so just look at this program. I'll explain each and every line of the code. Okay, so in data segment we have taken three memory operands. One is A, another one is B, and third one is a result. So A is my first number, B is my second number. I will add those two numbers and store the result into the sum into the result. Okay, so this is a data segment. Okay, so what happens when you execute this program? So when you execute this program, okay, so you have to draw a data segment figure like this. So just assume that this is a data segment. Okay, so in data segment all the values will be stored by byte series. Okay, so that means the 2 bytes are reserved for A, these 2 bytes are reserved for B, and these 2 bytes are reserved for this result. Okay, so result, and the addresses will be 4 zeros, 0001, 0002, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay, so this is how these addresses will be assigned to these memory locations. Okay, so how this A will be get stored? Okay, so the A is divided into two parts. So this is a lower byte and this is a higher byte. Okay, lower byte and higher byte. So as per Little Endian method, the lower byte of your value should be at a lower address. Okay, so when you are comparing these two addresses, this is 4 zeros and this is a 0001. So as per the value, this is a lower address and this is the higher address. So from your value, the lower byte value should be at a lower address and the higher byte value should be at a higher address. That means 34, that is a lower byte. So that will be stored here, 34, and the higher address 12 will be stored here. Similarly, for B also, 34 will be stored here and 12 will be stored here. Okay. And for the result, so initially we don't know the value of the result, so we put a question mark. So it will assign zeros here. Okay, so the result will be zeros. Okay, so what happens when we execute this program? Okay, these two lines are called as initialization of data segment. So in order to access these values by your assembler, you need to initialize your data segment. Otherwise, you cannot get those values. Okay, so here what we have done here is we have just retrieved the segment base address of data segment into AX, then AX value into DS. That means we have transferred the base address of data segment into DS. Okay, so you may get a doubt that why we didn't write that DS comma data, because that is not allowed, that is invalid statement. You cannot move base address directly into DS. Okay, so that's why we are using this AX for exchanging the values. That means we just put the base address first in AX, then transfer the base address to DS. Okay, so here what we have done here is we taken the value into AX. For example, if this is the AX register, okay, we have taken the value into AX, then B value into BX. So if there is a BX register, if this is the BX register, we have taken the second number into BX. Then we perform addition of AX plus BX. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that means 8, 6, 4, 2. Okay, so this is the result value. This again stored into AX. That means this will be overwrite with 2, 4, 6, 8, which is the result. Okay, then we moved our result value into the, that means the sum of the two numbers into the result. So that means that value 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is the lower byte and this is the higher byte. So 6, 8 will be stored here. So this will 0, 0 will be replaced with 6, 8, and this will be replaced with 2, 4. Okay, so this is how your data segment will be updated after addition of two numbers. Okay, so with these two lines, so these two lines are called DOS interrupts with the type number 21H. Okay, what is the interrupt 21H? So interrupt 21H is used to exit the program and with a exit code. So for that you have to move 4C into the AH part, that is a higher byte of AX register. Okay, then code endless will end your program, and end is the end of the program. So this is how your addition of two numbers will get performed. Okay, so this is an example for addition of two numbers if there is no carry. Okay, so in the second version of this program, so what happens if there is a carry occurs? That means if the higher order digits of these two numbers, if they produces a carry, what we have to do? So in that case, you have to take that, you have to store that carry value, and you need to put it in the memory. That means you need to store the carry value, because you cannot discard the carry value, because with the carry only your complete sum will be represented. You cannot discard, or you cannot ignore the carry value. Okay, so in that case, what are the changes that we have to make to this particular program? Okay, so for example, let me take two numbers. I'm just taking those two numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm taking 9, 2, 3, 4, H. Okay, for simplicity calculation. Okay, for this one I'll take a second number as 8, 2, 3, 4, H. 8, 2, 3, 4, H. So when I add 9 plus 8, that gives me 17. Okay, so your hexadecimal value can afford only until 15 value, because the 15 number is represented with F. If your value is a 16, you have to write it as 10. If that is a 17, you need to write it as a 11. So that means this particular higher order digits that definitely produce a carry. So that's why I have taken 9 and 8. Okay, so in this case, what we have to do? Okay, the extra things we have to perform is, we have to reserve a particular register to store your carry. Okay, so for that I will take the register CX. So I'm just making some changes for this code. I am taking my register CX and I am performing exclusive OR CX with CX. Okay, so what is this exclusive OR? Why I am performing exclusive OR operation on CX on CX? When we perform exclusive OR operation on same register CX, that will be all zeros is the result. That means your register content will be cleared. So because I want to store the carry into that, so I want to erase the previous contents of the CX register. So for that I have to perform this exclusive OR. Or you can write it in another way. That means you can write it as a move CX comma 40H. So this is a simple way to do it. Okay, so you can use either this move instruction, or I can do this as a exclusive OR CX with CX. That definitely produces all the zeros in the CX register. Okay, so the remaining logic is similar to the previous one, that is move AX comma A, move BX comma B. Okay, so that will take my two memory operands into the two registers. Okay, then I'll perform the addition operation, add AX comma BX, add AX comma BX. Okay, so in order to find whether there is a carry occurs or not, okay, so I have to use a conditional jump instruction. A conditional jump instruction that I am going to use is a JNC. That means if jump if no carry, if the carry flag is not set. Okay, so I use that instruction. So immediately after add instruction, I have to use an instruction called JNC, jump if no carry. So if jump if no carry, so I'll write a label called next. So how you write this JNC? So JNC should be, or any conditional jump instruction should be written as the instruction followed by some label. So here JNC is the instruction, next is the label. Okay, so this means if there is no carry, I'll go to a label called next. Okay, so what happens if this particular instruction is a false? That means if the carry occurs. So in that case, I have already reserved this CX to store my carry value. So I will increment. So INC stands for increment the CX register. Because I have cleared my CX contents, now I will increment my CX register so that my value will get incremented. Okay, so that is this will be executed if the carry occurs. That means if JNC will be false. Okay, so after this I'll write that a label called next here, next colon, then move result comma AX. Okay, what is this line? We are just moving the sum value into the third variable, that is the result. Okay, So what is the next thing that we have to do? So we have to store the carry also next to the result value. Okay, how I can do that? Okay, so in that case you need to move the contents of CX register to the adjacent memory location of a result variable or the result memory operand. Okay, how I can do that? So for that you have to simply do this: move in square bracket, write it as result plus 2 comma CX. So this is the instruction that we write here, result plus 2. What do you mean by that? That means if there is a memory operand called result, that means result is here. Okay, okay, just again I will draw here that particular figure here. Okay, so this is the data segment here, and there are a number of bytes in the data segment. Number of bytes in the data segments. Okay, so this is the 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so these are the addresses. These are the addresses. Okay, what is this? This is the data segment. Okay, so in data segment the first variable is A. So these 2 bytes. Okay, why the 2 bytes are reserved? Because I have taken DW, so that will allocate 2 bytes for me. So these 2 bytes are allocated for A, and these 2 bytes are allocated for B, and these 2 bytes are allocated for result. Okay, so in A, what is the value that we stored at that location? That is a 34 is the lower byte, so that will be the one first stored here. Then 92. Similarly for this also 34, and this is 82. 82, and the result is initially 0. Okay, so this is the picture of your data segment. Okay, so whenever you write a program, it's better you draw this kind of a figure for the data segment with a paper and pencil and check how your data segment is get updated. So that will give you a clear picture of what is happening inside. Okay, so now we'll execute this particular program. Okay, I'll try to give a explanation for this. Okay, so there are 3 registers: AX, BX and CX. Okay, so there are 3 registers. So I have cleared the contents of CX. Okay, exclusive or CX. Okay, so for your just clarification, I am just performing that. Okay, if CX is having a value called something like 8234H. Okay, so just imagine that CX is having 8234H. Okay, so what happens? 8234H can be represented as a 1000 is 8, 0010 is 2, and 3 means 0011, 4 means 0100. That is the value of 4. So this is the CX. Again, I'll take the CX value: 1000, 0010, 0011, 0100. Okay, I have taken CX values twice, so I will perform the exclusive OR operation. What is the logical or the truth table for exclusive OR? When the bits are similar or when the bits are same, your result is 0. So that means 0 0 will produce a 0. This will also produce 0. 1 1 is a 0. 0 0 is 0. 1 1 is 0. 1 1 is 0. 0 0 0. 1 1 is 0. 0 0 0 0 0 0. That means you will get all zeros. So all zeros means if you take 4 digits as a group, then this will give 4 zeros. Okay, so that is the reason why we are performing exclusive OR operation. So when you perform exclusive OR on a same register, okay, with the same register, then that will clear all its contents. Okay, so my CX has become all zeros. That is the exclusive OR CX. Then I have taken A value into AX. What is A value? That is 9234. Then I have taken B value into BX. What is B value? That is B8234. Then I am adding two numbers. Okay, so that means 9 2 3 4 plus 8 2 3 4. Okay, what is my value? 8 plus 8, 4 plus 4 is 8, 3 plus 3 is a 6, 2 plus 2 is a 4, and 9 plus 8 is a 17. In hexadecimal, what is the equivalent of 17? That is 1 1. So my sum is 1 and carry is 1. So this is carry. So that means in this case I have got a carry. So coming to this particular statement here, J and C next. So jump if no carry to next. That means if carry flag is not set, I'll go to this label directly. But here I have got a carry. Okay, so my carry flag. Okay, so for example, there is a carry flag over here. This will become a 1 now. So J and C will become a false. What happens? This is a false. So if this is false, we'll come here. What is that incrementing Cx? So what is the increment? Increment is nothing but adding plus 1 to the contents of Cx. So already 4 zeros are there. When you add plus 1, so your Cx will become a 1, 00001. Your Cx will become a 00001. Then here we are moving that your result Ax value into the result. Okay, what is the Ax value? This will be override with that result value. What is that? 1468. This carry is not taken into the consideration. Only Ax will get these 4 digits. So that is 1468. So that means 68 will be stored here. 68 will be stored here, and this is a 14. 14. Okay. This is the total result of your two numbers. 9234 plus 8234. Does it give a result called 1468? Obviously that is not. Okay, what is the result? The result is actually you have to take this extra 1 also. So the result is 11468. Okay, so then how can I get this 1? Okay, so in that case, just move your Cx value to the adjacent location of a result plus 2. Okay, so what is that? For that we have written it as a Cx moved to result plus 2. Okay, so what happens? So result plus 2 means if result is here, plus 2 means these two locations. Plus 2 means these are two locations. So here the value of Cx, that is a 0001. So 0100, that means 01 will be stored here and 00 will be stored here. When you just look at this thing, 11468 is the result. So okay, this is how you have to send your carry to the next location of the result. Okay, so what are the last statements here? For any program, the last statements are move AH comma 4CH, interrupt to 1H, code ends, end start. Okay, so this is the concept of when you're adding two 16-bit numbers, what happens if the addition produces a carry. Okay, so remember that you need to consider the carry and you need to place it next to the result value in the data segment. Okay, so I'll show you this execution of this program in the execution part. Okay, just move to the next program, that is the subtraction of two numbers. So when you understand the addition of two numbers, you can easily convert this program into the subtraction of two numbers. Okay, so I'll show you how you do that. Okay, so for subtraction of two numbers, so again I have taken two numbers. Okay, so 9234 and 8234, and the result is the third variable is the result. Okay, or you can take it as a difference or something. Okay, so difference, the same program, and the first thing you have to perform is the same as the previous program, that is move AX comma A, take the first number into AX, move bx comma b, bx comma b here. Okay, then what you have to perform? Subtraction. So for subtraction operation, we use an opcode called sub. So sub ax comma bx. That will subtract my two numbers and stores the result. That is the difference in the ax only. So next we just move those result to the difference variable. So difference comma ax. Then closing of the program. Move ah comma 4ch interrupt to 1h. Code ends end start. Okay friends, so this is a program for subtraction of two numbers. Okay, so quickly I will explain this program. Okay, because it is a very easy program, only that you have changed the line from addition to subtraction. That means a sub ax comma bx. Okay, so what does it gives here? For a, here it will be 9234 means first 34 will be stored, next 92. Similarly for 8234, it here stores 34 and next one is 82. And for result, this is a zeros. Okay, we have changed the name from result to the difference. So this variable is called difference. Okay, so what you are doing here is you are taking a value into ax, that is 9234 h, then b value into bx, that is a 8234 h. Then you are just performing that. Okay, 9234 minus 8234. You are just subtracting these two numbers, 0, 0, 0 and 1. Okay, so this is a result. So this will be stored here in the ax itself. So the result is 1,000,000 and you are just passing that to the difference variable. So that means 1,000,000 will be stored as a 0, 0 and 1, 0, higher byte 1, 0. That ends your program. Okay, so hope you understand this program. This is a subtraction of two 16-bit numbers. Hope you understood these two programs. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.